All right, everyone. It is Monday, so y'all know what that means. It is time for Nerdcamp Sports, and we are. I'll be moderating this evening, Mike. We got Agent Solstice and Raj in the building.
What's up,
R&B should
everybody?
be joining us soon. How you guys doing through this crappy winter weather abomination we've had? Sunday into Monday.
I call that work. I'm doing great.
Oh man, it was rough.
I hear you. Well, the good thing is I didn't have to work this Monday. Thank goodness. So I was good. I've been home pretty much all day. I think I stepped out for like 10 minutes today. But yeah, this snow is ridiculous, man. This snow is absolutely ridiculous.
Oh yeah. And to all you people out there who like this shit, fuck y'all. Just want to put that out there. Be like, I want it to snow. Yeah. Now we got so much snow, like, oh my gosh. So y'all go to
Solstice, I
hell.
thought you were a Bills fan. Why do you hate snow and be a Bills fan? Oh, I root for this team on the other side of the state.
There you go. Exactly.
Fuck that.
Exactly.
So we're fresh off of the championship games yesterday. And we're gonna start with New England and Denver. Yesterday, New England was able to become the third team with less than 60 points through three games to advance to the Super Bowl. In yesterday's game, looking at it full circle was a defensive battle. It was hold on. There we go. There he is. What up, bro?
What up, though?
Just getting started. Yep. So yesterday's game, New England, Denver was a defensive battle. Nothing more than that. It really just came down to really who was going to make less mistakes. And New England played a game to where they set Denver up where they had to go win it. They trusted their defense to hold the game in check versus making their offense go out there and win it, right? So I'm going to start with you, R&B. Yesterday's win for New England, was this win solely based on the fact that Bo Nix did not play?
No. I might fuck y'all up with this one, but I think it was based on the fact that it snowed like it did. That's just from watching. I watched both of the games all the way through, thick and thin. My honest observation from the New England game and win was that had it not snowed like it did in Denver, I feel like Denver wins that game. I do. Drake May was not that impressive yesterday. I mean, being that the second, this is the tricky part about it. The second half of the game is where all of that snow really started to take effect.
Yeah.
And a lot of people pointing to, oh, it was boring, or blah, blah, blah. It was too much snow. They couldn't do nothing. Okay, they had a whole first half with no snow, but they still didn't do nothing. So, and they let the boys Stidham come in and hit that lone bomb. So, you know what I'm saying? To me, that was every indication. And then New England had the all-white jerseys on. It started snowing real bad, and he threw that pick in the second half. Yeah, he threw that pick in the second half. So just And I could just be going based off feeling of watching it, but just based off just what I watched, I truly felt like Denver played better and still lost. I truly felt like that. Both neither one of them were, that impressive to say the least, being the circumstances, but I felt like Denver played better and still lost.
Okay. Raj, was Denver not kicking the field goal in the second quarter to tie the game or take the lead at that point, the turning point of the game?
In my opinion, yes. And I'm sick and tired of these coaches um, allowing these teams to do this kind of stuff. I mean, it boils down to just putting points on the board, right? Because even in the second game with the Rams versus the Seahawks, we witnessed the same thing. If you're in field goal range, kick the field goal and make the field goal. It's really that simple. So it was just really sloppy just to have that happen. And honestly, I knew it was going to be a low scoring game, but you got to put points on the board as much as you can. So figure it out. Either find a kicker that can do it or kick it when it's available. You just got to get some points on the board.
Okay. Okay. Brandon, I saved this question specifically for you as a Bills fan.
Oh, God.
Now, we've all known, we've all been alluded to the fact that the Patriots had arguably the easiest schedule to get here. But do they earn a little bit of respect for beating three of the top five defenses in the league to get to the Super Bowl? And after he answers, I would like R&B and Raj, I'd like you guys to answer that question as well.
I'd have more respect for it if, like, he put up points or did well. Like, not really. He didn't do all that well. Like, he played like shit against Houston, played like shit yesterday. And, like, the Chargers, okay. The Charger. Like, I'm not – as far as, like, top five defenses, a lot of people will bring up that the Bills and Josh Allen had – like a top five defense a couple times between 2020 and 2024.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of the same concept of like we would beat the shit out of the soft ass teams and that would bloat our stats up. But then when it comes to shove, time for to take down the real guy, we have a historically bad playoff defense. So like consider me a little suspicious that the Chargers might have also been that. So, like, I see them not scoring 60 points and getting to the Super Bowl, seeing my team score over 70 points in 2 games and get eliminated. Fuck them.
Since you're laughing, Raj, what's your answer to that same question?
I agree with Brandon. I agree. I mean, I don't know, man. You guys got on me 2 weeks ago about me saying that the Patriots, man, their window is very small, and for them to go out there and win these games the way they won them, and then end up in a situation getting to the Super Bowl, that just solidifies my reason of saying what I said 2 weeks ago, because Drake May haven't proved anything. His defense proved everything. And on top of that, we got to look at it like this. The AFC is one of the toughest conferences on the planet. I mean, in any sport. If you look at the competition, the MVP awards, people playing in their prime, in any sport, you show me another sport where it's one conference and you got like 4 or 5 MVPs or potential MVPs, because I do believe Drake May will win the MVP by default. This season. So I'm saying that because it's a Royal Rumble. It's a Royal Rumble out there in the AFC. And next year is going to be totally different. So they haven't proven anything to me. And honestly, that little low-ass scoring game, if I was Drake May, I would have put up at least 2 touchdowns. I would have put up 2 touchdowns just to prove and shut everybody up. But I know what it is. It's about just outscoring the other team. And to be quite honest, I wonder how they're going to play up against the Seahawks. I got the Seahawks winning it, by the way, because the Seahawks, even though I can't stand Sam Darnold, the Seahawks got all things covered. The defense, the offense, and even their special teams as top three. So that's my opinion.
Special teams important.
It is very important.
What
What's up,
what
Doug?
up, Will?
What up? What up? What up? How everybody doing
What's
today?
going on?
We're good. We're good. How are you?
Hey, glad to be here as always, man.
Absolutely. So
That,
I was just talking about New England and Denver. I just asked the question that, and R&B is going next, and then you can go after. But the question is, do the Patriots have a little bit of respect for being, or does Drake May have a little bit of respect for being the first QB to beat three of the top five defenses en route to the Super Bowl? So R&B, go ahead, brother.
Um, I'm gonna scale it out. I'm gonna say on the 1 to 10, I'll probably give them like a good 3.5, maybe 4 in respect. Because I mean, for one, by default, they gotta get a little respect for getting to the Super Bowl. Uh, you also got to give them a little respect being one of the top teams in the what we consider to be the tougher conference. And then he it looks like Drake May probably is going to end up winning the MVP. So that goes a little bit into that as well. So overall, I think that we do got to give him, reluctantly a little something. I can't just flat out say no like the other gentleman did. I just can't because you know what I'm saying. And I've been the number one advocate saying that, you know, I don't really believe in them because they haven't played anybody, but at the same time, I have to also recognize that they don't control the schedule that they're given. They can only play who they
The game in front of them.
scheduled to play. Yeah, you can only play who they give you to play. So with that being said, making the Super Bowl, man, I can't just say no. You know what I'm saying? I got to give them a little bit of respect. And then, like you said, knocking off top five defenses, you know what I'm saying? I got to give them a little bit of respect. It might be reluctantly, it might be some of me saying, you're going to have to show me more next year once this schedule gets tougher, because this schedule will get tougher. But I'm going to give them credit. And this is where I'm going to end it at. I'm going to give them and Seattle credit because they've both done what the Lions could not do and capitalize. And we've all sat here and watched it play out right before our faces. First of all, Seattle traded Russell Wilson a year after we traded Matthew Stafford. New England has been in their little rebuild pretty much in around the same little time frame that the Lions made the Stafford trade, and we went into our little rebuild and we came out strong. We had the 15 and 2 year, and then the year before that, we had the little window. Then we end up back 9-8. Both of these teams are in the Super Bowl, so I'm gonna give them credit for that. I'm gonna give Drake May love for that.
Well, before I let Will go, I just have to say this while it's on my mind. To the contrary, something that doesn't happen often on the show is me and R&B agree. And I'm going to tell you, and my take is short, and I'm going to let Will get right in here, is I've been constant, and I've said it time and time, that win the games you're supposed to win. The Patriots did that this season. They got to the Super Bowl. But I also say, you're not going to see those easy teams in the playoffs, right? They've beat those easy teams. Doesn't matter if it's their defense. Doesn't matter if it was Drake May. Doesn't matter if it was their special teams. At the end of the day, they won the game. So for that, based on what I've said all those years, I got to give them some respect. Now, I will say this. Somehow, some way, they win this game. Somehow, some way. They go in there, and everyone's going to be picking Seattle. probably including everyone on this panel when we go through it later. But if they somehow win this game, regardless, you've beaten 4 top defenses to win the Super Bowl. That changes the conversation. But we'll see about that when we get there. Go ahead, Will.
I try not to be the person that sounds like I'm like, hedging my bet, but we tend to, it's a small percentage of teams and quarterbacks that's won the way that we tend to like kind of hold all of these quarterbacks and teams to a certain kind of standard of. You know what I mean? Montana won the way Montana won. You know what I mean? In Kansas City, they doing their thing right now with Mahomes. We know they, fell short this year or whatever. Um, but it's not a whole lot of quarterbacks or organizations that just kind of, be there all the time and win all the time like that. So
Motion
it's
detected
interesting.
at your front door.
I was watching which, and I done had this conversation with Ryan multiple times for R&B. Like I don't really watch ESPN like that no more because I feel like it's just a bunch of this or that, black and white, without the context that a lot of these conversations deserve. But I was watching this morning, and Stephen A. Didn't want to acknowledge that he was saying the same thing that I was saying. Like can you win with him? Yeah, but I need to see it. But when they kind of held his feet to the fire about what he was saying about Darnold, they it was more like he literally was like, yeah, we wouldn't even have this conversation if I didn't want y'all to, because basically like I run the show and I'm paraphrasing or whatever. My point in all of this is like there's the truth, there's like the facts and the reality of all of this, and then there's like the narrative that gets pushed and perpetuated depending on who we're talking about. You know what I mean? It's a bunch of different narratives. Going on at the same time. So, like I say, with Darnold, I stand on what I said. Like, I needed to see it, and I still need to see it. Like, still need to see it. I stand on what I said, but it's all these different narratives. It's not a whole lot of them, but we've seen a lot of different teams win without a like Hall of Fame quarterback. I'm old enough that I've seen Trent Dilfer, I've seen Brad Johnson. You know what I mean? I've seen Flacco. You know what I mean? So I kind of understood what Stephen A. was saying. And again, R&B will tell you, like, I'm not like a Stephen A. guy at this point. There's a lot that I disagree with him about. But what he was saying, just like in regards to like, man, I got to see it to believe it. I think it's true for both of these quarterbacks and for both of these teams. You know what I mean? It was a long way, kind of getting to that point. You know what I'm saying? A long-winded way. But like, no, it's not outside of Seattle and New England. It's not a whole lot of people that can honestly sit here and say that, like, you know what I mean? This is where we were going to be. You know what I'm saying? When it came down to this Super Bowl. So, if I had to put my money on one quarterback or the other, it would probably be May. But if I had to put it on one team or the other, it will probably be Seattle. And that's, kind of like where I'm like, it's, I don't want to be, God, these kids be 6'7", like all this shit. This is the most curious Super Bowl that I can remember in a long time in regards to the teams that are there, the players that are there, the quarterbacks that are there, how they got there. Like we've seen it with one quarterback that maybe we wasn't expecting them to be there, whether it was Brady or, Kurt Warner but like, it's usually not like two teams that nobody saw coming. and that's the craziest thing about this Super Bowl for me. I don't, I got my reservations about both teams. I do feel like New England's defense, whatever they were earlier in the year, I do feel like they've shown up in a certain kind of way in the last how many ever weeks that they've proven themselves in a certain kind of way. Seattle been Seattle, you know what I mean, all season, but nothing would surprise me. If I, if I had to, you know what I mean, put some money on it, probably going with Seattle because I feel like they better top to bottom. But if it comes down to like a quarterback duel, I would probably be more comfortable with, you know what I mean, going with New England because I think Drake May is kind of defending. Um, and to the point that, you know what I mean, R&B was making, and I was kind of, I kind of, I've been agreeing with what he just said. Like, you know, you can only play the schedule in front of you. So we can't hold it against somebody. You know what I mean? If they lost those games that we feel like they should have won, then we would say they should have won those games. When they win the game that we feel like they should have won, it's like, well, then you know that's what you're supposed to do. All they've done is win. You know what I'm saying? Win, 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 no matter what. And I hate, God, I hate the Patriots. So uh, it. I feel like I'm getting kicked in the nuts right now, having to acknowledge all of this. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know if I told y'all that the Titans is on my side. It hurt my soul when they fired Vrabel because I knew he was solid. Like I knew he was a great coach, and they let him go. And now he done went back to New England to the team that I hate. I hate New England more than I'm in Detroit. I hate New England more than I hate Green Bay or Minnesota or Chicago. Like God, I hate Green Bay. And it's hurting. God, it hurt my feelings that he left my Titans to go back and put that team together the way that he did. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like this was a super interesting season. Such an outlier. I think it's a lot of outliers this season. You know what I'm saying? But like all of this, like this whole season was crazy. Whether it came down to injuries, playoff matchups, who won, who lost, how they got there, what happened, choices people made. Like this was.
Do y'all feel like this was a down year for the NFL?
Oh,
Yes.
I don't.
Yes.
I don't.
I do.
I think
I'm not talking I'm not talking revenue or nothing like that. I'm just talking
no.
overall team experience, play.
I'll tell you why I feel that way real quick. And I'm glad you asked that question, R&B, because there was a lot of stars injured, a lot of quarterbacks, a lot of big time superstars that are game changers injured this season.
Defense, yeah.
You know, like on the offensive end and the defensive end. And I felt like low key was a little bit cheated out of like an actual real playoff because of that.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
I just want to say that I'm not like completely saying I'm not giving the Patriots any respect. I would literally also say like it would be like around 3-4 on a scale to 10, but just fuck them.
Yeah, I got the same sentiments because you know,
Yeah.
and you know, Solstice, they're in the same division as us. We watch them at least twice a year, and I
You
can't.
think you hate them well? Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh God.
I can't.
I hate them.
But this is like PTSD for me because I know for a fact that the Patriots are going to keep pushing whatever they can to get these guys back to the Super Bowl. So it sucks.
And in my opinion, sorry.
Hold on, Mike. Raj can't feel like that if he feel like their window is so small, and that is right now. It's so small, and right now, how can you feel like that you got PTSD because they just gonna keep it going and going and going? I think that goes more to my argument that they're a young team, slightly ahead of schedule, and they're gonna be here for a while. So that's your PTSD. You see it coming.
And I'm glad that you said that because here goes my take on that. Okay, because when it boils down to it, Drake May's not that dude. He just found lightning in a bottle for this season.
Tom Brady wasn't that dude that first season.
No, Tom Brady was that dude. Tom Brady was that dude.
No, he was not.
Yes,
no,
he was
not.
Yes,
those
he was.
defenses were those defenses. That's what the fuck was.
I'm not as much
Tom Law.
as much as I can't stand Tom Brady, the football player. I can't do that. I won't allow you to do it.
Tom Brady would tell you himself that the first couple of Super Bowls he was not what he was becoming.
And
Tom
here's
Brady was
his
a high level
stats.
game manager.
His first Super Bowl, 16 of 27, 145 yards, and 1 touchdown was his stats for the first Super Bowl.
Okay. Okay, and
But that just the same. You just said he was that dude.
That don't sound like that type of stats.
okay, so we're talking about one game. We're talking about the Super Bowl, right? Now, let's talk about the regular season. Let's talk about the
No, we
regular
talking about that. We talking about that season.
Period.
We talking that season. How he got there? Because remember he started as a backup, right?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And it's not like he was going. He wasn't out there throwing 300 yards and 2-3 touchdowns every week. That's not like the defense. Lawyer Malloy and Ty Law and you know what I mean, all Ted Bruschi and all them guys like that. Like no, that was them.
Okay,
he made enough plays. He didn't even make it a game winning play. Vinatieri did. Vinatieri kicked it like, you know. Nah, man.
Okay. Now, if we're looking at the totality of it, right? The defense and the offense played great, but it took Tom Brady to make the right plays for them to win. Because you can't win without the offense. You can't win without it.
Drake May that got in.
No, Drake May's not that guy. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Wait. So wait, Brady the man with mediocre stats with Drake May, who is MVP caliber, which Brady was not. You know what I'm saying?
What makes Tom Brady the game manager versus Drake May his basically pretty much his first year going to the Super Bowl make him an MVP? What makes those two things different? What makes those two things what they are? Please
can I answer the? I'm gonna answer the question for you. I'm gonna answer the question for you.
Go ahead.
So again, Tom Brady did not start that season as the starting quarterback. He was not QB1. Drew Bledsoe was.
That is
you know
correct.
what I mean? And he got knocked out of. He got his eternal spirit knocked out of his body by Brian Cox. You know what I'm saying? Which is how Brady wound up. And again, Brady didn't come in. Brady was not Kurt Warner in his first year, you know what I mean, with multiple starts. He was not that. Kurt Warner, when he came in with St. Louis, he was slanging that thing. He was MVP that year. That was not Tom Brady. They had an excellent defense, and they had a solid offense. And Tom Brady made enough plays for them. Tom Brady was more Brad Johnson. I'm not going to say Trent Dilfer. I'm not going to do him like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to disrespect him like that.
Brad Johnson.
But Tom Brady was more Brad Johnson, you know what I'm saying, than the Tom Brady that he ended up becoming. He won multiple Super Bowls before he became that guy like that. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like, he wasn't slinging that thing. It kind of took off when Moss got there, when they traded for Randy Moss, and then they brought in Wes Welker, and they drafted Gronk, and you know what I mean, crazy as he was, Aaron Hernandez, but like he wasn't his development took time. He was winning, he was making the plays to win, but he wasn't like that guy initially. It took a while for him to get there.
Okay. Now,
I don't want to hold the show up, but I do got a question for Mike. If he could check it real quick, because I know he on his laptop. Was the year Randy Moss got there? Was that Tom Brady's first MVP? Which would be 2006-07.
Randy was there 2007.
What? Yeah.
I don't think so, and that's not what that's not what I was saying.
I feel like it was.
No, I know.
Because
I'm just kind of making a point.
Who was Brady?
Yes,
2000 Moss.
2007 was Tom Brady's first MVP. That was the 16-0 season.
So Drake May in his second year possibly about to be the MVP. It took Tom Brady 7 years. It's a difference here, Raj.
Okay,
let's continue this.
I'm glad you said that, because let's look at the stats. Let's look at the stats, ladies and gentlemen. let's look at the stats. Second year, Drake May in the building, right? How many touchdowns does he have? 31 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, right? Okay. Now, Tom Brady, how many did he have second year? Anybody knows?
Why would we know that right off bat?
Because y'all
looking at it, go and read it out.
I mean, I'm trying to see where y'all at with it. 18 and 12 interception, 86 passer rating, right? Now,
that was Brady's second year.
Yeah, that's Brady's second year. Right. As a starter. First as a starter, right? Now what's his second? Now let's look up his 2002 stats real quick. Tom Brady's 2002 stats, because that's the stats y'all talking about. 2002. Tom Brady 2002 stats, right? Now, what we got here is 28 touchdowns, 14 interceptions. We're not looking at too much of a difference. We're not looking at too much of a difference. What I'm saying is we got to look at it for what it is. You guys said it, not me. Stats do lie. Did you guys not say that?
They can't lie.
Okay. So even in this situation, even with his first season as a starter, you guys said he wasn't really that good or he wasn't that guy first season. Second season, we knew he was that guy. The second season, he was a full starter. We knew Tom Brady was that dude. Even with a
wait. Correct me if I'm wrong. They didn't make the playoffs that second season.
I'm not talking
they
about.
They went 9-7 and missed the playoffs. Correct me if I'm wrong. They went 9-7 and missed the playoffs that second season. When they cut Lawyer Malloy and he went to Buffalo and they missed the playoffs.
That was 2003. That was the next year.
That was the
Lawyer Malloy was 2003, but close.
Okay.
Yeah. I only specifically know that because I
mean, you a Buffalo guy. I would expect you to.
I know.
But the reason I'm saying that is because it's the intangibles. Gentlemen, it's the intangibles that we got to look at. You know if that person is that guy. I'm not saying Drake May won't be that guy, but right now, he's not that dude. He's not. He doesn't have the same intangibles.
You still contradicting yourself. So you just what you did was you just did a female move. You took a word and you threw it out here in the middle of your argument to try to make that shit have relevance to get you over the hump. You just threw out this intangibles. Drake May going to the Super Bowl. Is there not any intangibles here as well?
On the back,
and it's either about to be first or second in MVP voting. So how is he not that guy?
Because he's not. He's not. Have you watched last night's game?
I did.
Okay, so we watching the same thing?
Okay, what did you tell us Tom Brady's numbers were in his first Super Bowl win? You just told us the numbers. What did you say? 140 something in a touchdown?
Yeah, but once again, like I said, numbers can lie. Numbers can lie. The point is this, just to wrap it up so we can move on.
So what about his intangibles to win a game like that yesterday?
What's that?
What about his intangibles to be able to pull a game out like that yesterday in a snowstorm, hectic weather?
Okay. He didn't show me anything. He didn't show me anything that is different from what he did last few games. That's what I'm saying. His games. Hold on, there's an echo. Do you guys hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
We can hear you.
His game is predicated on being a game manager. Brock Purdy plays the same way that Drake May plays. Let's keep it a stat. The defense do the bulk of the job. He just makes sure he doesn't turn the ball over and make sure he gets at least one touchdown. Brock Purdy can do that shit. We're not going to sit here and be acting like, he's the greatest quarterback since Patrick Mahomes. This dude is okay.
Why does that have to be the measuring stick? See, we got to keep this going, Mike, because he gonna keep saying stuff that's just gonna keep on because it's like, why do that got to be the measure? Nobody said Drake May was Patrick Mahomes.
Because
I just
I'm trying to
recognized them at a 3-4 respect. I didn't say a T, and I said 3-4.
exactly.
Like,
So that proves my point again.
Even the Brock Purdy thing. Brock Purdy that had how many opportunities? Drake May is there now. You know what I'm saying? Brock Purdy didn't have how many opportunities? I lost how many? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Let's see what happens in the next couple of seasons. And then we can revamp this. Like I said, go back and see what's good. But from this point, I'm telling you what I know. I'm telling you what I know. It might be different than what you know, but I'm telling you my opinion on it is that window is very short. This might be the first and last time we see him. But what I'm saying on top of that is that New England is America's team, and they're going to try to put as many people in place for him to go back to the Super Bowl. So that's why I'm saying
they're not America's team.
They're America's team. They're literally the American flag.
Where is there silver in the American flag?
Well, I don't know, but it's called.
Where's their navy? It's just blue.
It's called patriotism. So more of the story is they're gonna try to do everything they can to get them back to the Super Bowl by putting the great pieces next to them.
I know what this is. I know what this shit is about. At the end of the day, this is his Jets soul coming out. That's all this is. This is his Jets hatred. This is his Jets hatred pouring out into his argument. He does not have to be. He does not know how to be biased.
But I did.
I was pretty fair with my hatred.
Yeah, but I did lead in saying it is a PTSD moment because I remember what they did with the Patriots.
First of all, I'm not even gonna take I don't even respect your quarterback IQ as a Jets fan enough to even listen to this argument any further.
Well, that's fine. You don't have to because I'm not the one selecting the quarterbacks. I didn't select the quarterback.
But I'm pretty sure it's been a ton of them they didn't select it where y'all sat up there and was like, okay, yeah, he gonna be that guy or he that guy.
That's one thing about Jets fan. We know how to fuck up quarterbacks. So therefore, we don't think nobody's that guy. What we do know is that
y'all drafted Sam Darnold.
Yeah, exactly. And he was seeing ghosts. He was out there looking for Ghostbusters. So when it's all said and done, I don't expect much from the quarterback. From a
look
Jets
at Aaron Rodgers last year. Look at him this year.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. We know how to mess up quarterbacks. But one thing
we can't take you serious with this argument. You are part of that.
I'm not selecting the quarterback.
That under the bridge that Stephen A. talk about when it comes to Jets.
I am not selecting the quarterback.
And the Giants, y'all offend them and y'all you garbage.
Hey Raj, I got your back on this one. Look. Aaron Rodgers wasn't that much better for Pittsburgh than he was for the Jets. The Jets is just the Jets.
Like, you really didn't have his back.
I got your back on that one.
We know what it is. He played the same way, but what I will say is for him to break his what's the name, have a leg injury his first game, that's never a good omen. So it's what it is.
That was the Jet stigma.
Right.
Man, oh man. Well, sometimes I just sit back and be entertained by the.
They say that feel like Pride Land, the dark lands of it.
I just want to say, if Dak Prescott didn't win the MVP in 2023, then Drake May shouldn't win it this year.
And I just want to say, I don't care what happened in the season that you win it. If you win a Super Bowl, your season was a 10. So,
I mean, yeah.
Well, man, we'll see what happens with that. You know, we got to see what happens with New England moving forward. But right now, we got to talk about what's in front of us. And what's in front of us was last night. What I told people that was going to happen, that Seattle and the Rams were going to go out there. They were going to play a phenomenal game. It was going to be entertaining, and it was going to be close. And, you know, I told some discussions I had with friends, I'm like, one play could decide the game. And damn it, one play definitely decided the game in that. We know that Seattle defeated the Rams 31-27. And Raj, I'm gonna start with you on this one. I had said, and I always say that there comes a point in the season or in the playoffs where your defense isn't going to get it done for you, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
I knew yesterday that Matt Stafford was going to be able to throw on that defense. I knew he was going to do his job, right? But yesterday, Sam Darnold stepped the fuck up. Sam Darnold didn't only just come out and play, that man came out and balled. I think he had like 324 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts on the way Sam Darnold played? And do you believe that he can play that way one more time to lift that Lombardi up in 2 weeks?
Get the Jets drafted.
Well, I know the shoe going to drop eventually. I think he played great, but it's going to happen. But I will say he's been impressive so far. But this conversation would not be happening if they kicked that field goal when they was in field goal range and it was 4th and 1. The Los Angeles Rams, that is. If they kicked that damn field goal, they would have had 4 or 5 more minutes. I don't remember how many minutes was on the clock, but they had plenty enough time to go down and do another drive after they got a stop. And they would have won this they would have won the NFC Championship. But they decided to hot dog and showboat and try to throw the ball in. And then, of course, that got blocked. And then, of course, the Seahawks end up winning. But I will say that Sam Darnold, he's been playing really good this playoff series. I definitely think that he's proven his point, saying that he was worthy of his top draft pick when he got picked by the Jets. But unfortunately, the Jets just don't know how to develop quarterbacks, or at least wait until they become good. And that's fine. That's fair. You know, it is what it is. We watched it with a lot of the players like Geno Smith, Sam Darnold. You know, the list goes on and on when it comes down to quarterbacks. But
Geno Smith, huh? Another Jet.
yeah. But when it's all said and done, I will say this. This conversation, once again, would be totally different if the coaching staff decided to kick that damn field goal and just put some damn points on the board. So we got to stop being greedy and running it or throwing it on 4th and 1. Just get the damn ball through the goal. That's it.
Can I go next, Mike? Because it's just one of them days.
Yeah.
Just one of them days.
Well, you know what? I have a question for you as well. So go. If you have a rebuttal to what he just said, go for it, and then I'll ask you the question I have for you.
Okay. I totally disagree with the whole notion on the going forward on 4th and 1 cost them the game. Reason why is reason why think about it. All right, you don't put no points on the board. You missed the field goal. Let's say they do put the points on the board. They lost by 4. So that field goal only gives them 3 points. You still got another point to make up there. That's number one. And then outside of that, they did get the ball back. Let's not forget that. They did get the stop. They did have the time. They did get the ball back. 85% of that game yesterday, I'm putting on that punt returner for muffing that motherfucking punt in the red zone. If of all places to muff a punt and times to muff a punt, you muff it at that time. Yeah,
you answered the question I was going to give you, so keep going.
Yeah, bro. I'm not saying Raj don't have credence to what he's saying. I just disagree because I seen it a different way. I felt like, you know what I'm saying, they did get that last stop. It was a minute plus still up there. And in the end, they still had the time. And my man muffed that and gave them a short field, and they scored. You can't do that in a situation like that in the playoffs. And you got Sam Darnold playing hot. He playing good. He throwing that bitch, slinging it all around. It's a shootout. You can't give a team a short field in a shootout with a critical situation like that. So I'm gonna have to go with what Solstice always say. Special teams matter. And yesterday, special teams let the Rams down. That's just how I see it, man. I'm sorry.
Well, so Brandon, in your opinion, I'm going to you with this one.
Mm-hmm.
Aside from the special teams mishap, was there anything else the Rams could have done from what you've seen that would have had them win this game?
I actually do also agree with Raj that they should have kicked the field goal at 4th and 1. It was like 8 minutes left. They got the ball back. If they kick the field goal, they have more time to go and get another field goal.
Facts.
I do agree that is something they could have done that they did not do correctly. Other than that, that's a good fucking Seahawks team, man. Like they from top to bottom, they got Sam Darnold's looking good. He showed us yesterday he can do the thing. Kenneth Walker is a monster. JSN is top 3 in the NFL. Like their defense is nasty. Their special teams is nasty. That this is a top to bottom, a really good team. So like, I feel like the Rams had to play basically a perfect game, and the two things that have been listed here are the main things that could have been different. Otherwise, you just got beat by a good team.
I do want to point out real quick that even if you do kick the field goal and get the points, and per se try to go get another field goal, the punt returner has to not muff the point in order to go get that damn field goal. He has to not muff the punt in order to go get that field goal.
That was
and he had already muffed one earlier in the game, so it might have been some thought there. It might have been some thought.
Get the backup punter and punt returner in there.
And that was a turning point, because that touchdown, really, the Rams at that point couldn't overcome it. Stafford was doing everything in his power to overcome it. I mean, even that last drive when they went for it on 4th down, they what you call it? That last drive, right? They got all the way down the field. They started in their own territory, got all the way down the field, and couldn't get the ball in the end zone. And then, obviously they kicked it back to Seattle, and Seattle essentially ran the clock down and won this game. But I mean, that muffed punt, regardless of the field goal, I could care less about the field goal. That was still kind of like a teeter-totter game. But that muffed field goal, rather, that muffed kickoff, that did everything. That changed the whole momentum of the game. And the Rams just couldn't overcome that. The field goal, they're like R&B said, there's credence there, but that special teams muff, was not good. Not good for them at all. I just don't. Go ahead, Will.
I definitely understand why Raj is saying what he's saying, but I don't subscribe to the notion that if they would have kicked it, even if he'd have made it, that don't mean the rest of the game play out exactly the same way. You know what I'm saying? If they kick that field goal, like all kind of other things could have happened. It's all kind of variables there. So I'm not mad about the field goal. I agree that, and correct me if I'm wrong, if not all of their losses this season, almost every single one of the Rams' losses this season, there was an issue with special teams, which is in part why their special teams coordinator got fired. You know what I'm saying? After they lost the last game to Seattle. So this has been, you know what I mean? Like outside of that, for the most part, they've been attacked. You know what I mean? Stafford had a down game or two. Every player does, but it wasn't really any games where they were just like they didn't have a chance to win it, but it came down to some special teams mishaps. You know, I don't even want to say plays. You know what I mean? Non-plays. You know. So again, even in spite of that, of them not, you know what I mean, kicking the field goal on 4th and 1, they still had every chance to win that game. And you know what I mean, that muff punt, that was, you know what I mean. I ain't gonna say that was a death knell. They still had a chance, but you know, like that, it was more so special teams miscues than anything else, in my opinion.
Agreed.
But let me ask you guys this: how many games have we witnessed during this playoff that could have been either won by a field goal just kicked, or it could have kept the game close enough for 2 field goals kicked and then won by 2 field goals? There's been too many.
I understand why you're saying that, but again, that's why I say I don't. Even if they kick that field goal, that don't mean that that's how that game was going to end up turning out. It was going. It doesn't mean if they kick that field goal, everything else doesn't happen exactly the way that it did when they didn't kick the field goal. You know what I'm saying? So I understand why you're saying that, but they might not. They kick that field goal. It's we don't know what happens. You know what I'm saying? The rest of that game.
If I'm a coach, okay, and you're in field goal range and it's 4th and 1, I'm kicking that damn field goal. And if you miss the field goal, then so be it. At least we get to see another possession. But if you
look, if they kick the field goal and make it, maybe he don't muff the punt. You know what I'm saying? And we not even having this conversation. But again, but it's all like, you know, it's all hypothetical. You know what I mean?
I know it's hypothetical, but I'm just sharing this with everybody because we have witnessed so many games during this playoffs that we said the same story. If they kicked the field goal, they would have won. And that's the thing. It's like we don't know if they would have won or not, but I would at least like to see them be in field goal range, 4th and some change, and just get that shit off. Because you can't win games by not trying to win the game. Yes, a touchdown is great. Yes, running the ball is great, and trying to get a touchdown is great. But damn it, can we at least put some points on the board? You would think these people never played Madden. You know what I'm saying? Like it comes down to a point over the point of the opponent for you to win. I don't know.
Everybody go for it on 4th and 1 on Madden, Rods. That was a bad thing to bring up.
No, I go for the field goal. I do because I'm trying to outscore you.
I don't believe you.
Depending on how my team's set up.
Look, if I know that
he an OG player, Mike. I know y'all been boys a long time.
Listen, that fourth down, that 4th and 1 be looking all right, you know, it'd be looking okay, but.
Hey, look, we just saw Caleb Williams pull off the ultimate Madden 4th and fuck it last week. Tell me I'm lying.
And look what happened. They lost.
That ain't the reason. That's not the reason they lost. That got them to overtime.
Yes, they got in overtime, but if they would have kicked field goals like they were supposed to, they would have won that game. There was a moment they had the same type of moment. It was like, all right, well, I guess we'll run for it, and they lost right in the red zone.
But here's the thing.
That was their identity this year, though. They was one of the better run teams in the league this year.
Man,
let me say this: when you going for it on those situations, right? If it's 4th and 1 and you get it, you're a genius. But if it's 4th and 1 and you don't get it, you're a complete fucking moron.
You an asshole.
You know what?
It's all one way or the other. There's no in between.
I hate to do it because I actually like the guy, but I gotta blame him. I gotta blame Applebee's Employee of the Month, Mr. Dan Campbell himself. He's the reason why everybody take it. He the reason why everybody taking them damn 4th-and-1s. Nobody cared about it until Dan Campbell started pushing his team to do it.
You know why?
He's
because it was working.
With it though.
Because it was working.
Yeah, but not
Exactly.
everybody's him.
Exactly. My
It
point. He was
works.
a genius.
That's
He
what
was
I'm
a
saying. But
genius.
not everybody can do what he does. That's what I'm saying. These teams are trying to follow what he did, and they're messing
It's a
up.
It's a
copycat league,
copycat
Raj.
league.
Damn.
But hold on, let's not act like we ain't never seen people go for it on fourth down in the history of football before Dan Campbell came along. Like, where is that narrative coming from? People went for it
Nobody
on
did it.
fourth down before
Nobody did it
Dan
in the
Campbell.
volume that he does it
Yeah,
He the
it's
one.
before
crazy.
He the
him.
one. He the one. He's the one.
I get that. I get that. But the way he arguing it is that, like, we've never seen somebody go for a fourth down in a playoff game.
I didn't say
That's
that.
not true.
What I'm saying is he popularized. That's like saying nobody hit 3-pointers before Steph Curry. Of course, people hit
No,
3-pointers
no,
before
but
Steph
you
Curry.
know, I'm glad you brought that up. But every team in the league now wants to shoot threes like Golden State, and they don't have Steph Curry and Prime Clay.
And
You know
that's
what
my
I'm saying?
point. That's
Which
what
is
I'm
why
saying.
everybody's not. You know what I mean? So I agree. I understand what you're saying, but it's not his fault. Just like it's not
No.
Golden State fault that they took advantage of. You know what I mean? Their
No.
talents. Like
I
it's not Dan Campbell's fault. But that's the nature of sports. When other
no.
organizations see something being successful, they're gonna try to do it. They're gonna try to copy it.
I get it. I'm jokingly saying that because he's the only one I've seen successfully do that. Because everybody, like every other team that tries it, either fail when it's big time prime time moments and they need that win, or they do it to a point where they know they're gonna run it and then they get stuck. So I get it. But what I'm
The
saying is,
I,
Eagles
just,
have been pretty damn good at it too.
uh,
yeah,
uh,
the Eagles, yeah, they pretty much built that with the tush push.
hey,
But
no, look, he didn't do it again in the volume, but Belichick used to go for it on fourth sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
right, right,
And one of his worst loss, he lost against like they lost to the Colts, right? On 4th and 2, trying to go for it on 4th and 2, and
Oh, I
didn't
remember
convert
that.
it.
Yeah, yeah, I
Like you
remember
know what I
that.
mean? But he's Belichick. Like people, talk shit. It's not like they said he, was the worst coach in the world because at that point he was kind of bulletproof. You know what I mean? But people even
yeah,
question him. You know what I mean? Again, to Mike's point, like if it worked, you a genius. You know what I mean? If it don't work, what the hell were you thinking? You
yep,
know what I'm saying? So I don't think that you can. No different than when you call in whatever play you call in, whether it's on offense or defense. You have to have faith in whatever it is that you're doing. You have to have belief in whatever it is you're doing, whatever play call it is that you're calling, even if you're punting it or kicking a field goal. Because you got to believe that you know what I mean, that your kicker gonna make the field goal or that your punter is going, you know what I mean, try to flip the field for you. So
right.
like again, I understand why you're saying what you're saying, but I can't get mad when they go for it and it don't work. Because sometimes playing it safe ain't the best option either. It's a lot of coaches that play not to lose, you know what I mean, as opposed to playing to win, and they still end up losing.
That's true.
So I have another question for everyone. What are you guys' thoughts on Drake May and Sam Darnold getting to the Super Bowl before these three notable names? Lamar Jackson, Dak Prescott. Y'all already know who the last one is, and Brandon, you can start.
Why you had to say it like that?
Because I
You can see
seen
my
him
face.
look in
You
his
see my
face.
face. I already knew it was coming.
Look in his face through the I had
oh, oh man.
Was it a catch, Brandon?
oh man.
I don't want to talk about that. I already said last week. The refs are not the problem. Did you see that my top 5 last week? Why we lost? Refs were not in the top 5. So
That is true. You did not name the referee.
I'm surprised.
yeah, I'll go back. I'll give you my. I'll go back and give you the whole top 5. Number 5, lack of pass rush. Number 4, Darius Slay. Number 3 was what was it? I forget what number 3 was. Number 2 was Josh Allen. Number 1 was James Cook's fumble.
What?
James Cook's fumble is the number 1 reason we lost that fucking game. A+. Like, we don't fumble we don't fumble that ball, and we get that touchdown and go up 14-3. The entire game script changes, and Josh ain't throwing 4 touchdowns because we can just ride James Cook the entire time. Josh
it's credence there, but I'm not about to put that as an A+ number 1 over the man, the myth, the legend, Josh Allen himself, with 4 fucking turnovers out there. Hell, fuck no, I'm not letting that one slide. 4 of them bitches, bad.
Yeah, it was bad. It was number 2.
That at the end of the first half,
that I don't think he has 4. I don't think he has 4 turnovers. If we go up 14-3, I think our defense plays better because we get to pin back and go after Bo. And the way we play our offense would have been different. We wouldn't be doing stupid ass shit like that. Sean McDermott has us going for a field goal with 20 seconds left and no timeouts. Like this, it changed the game script. It gave them all the momentum. It was a 14-point shift. It changed everything.
I felt like they defense had y'all too. Like that, they was at the Josh Allen ass all day.
We scored 30 points against Denver's defense and lost. Fucking Drake May gets to put up 10 and win. So, no. So I don't feel like no. James Cook is, as far as I'm concerned, he's the one that absolutely deflated everything. Our entire chance. He's the one that kept it close. And the reason
I get it. Blame it on the black man.
Why are you making it a race game, bro?
It can't be precious Josh Allen's fault with 4 turnovers. Mr. Perfect Sparkly for these past 5 years. Get another rule change or need Pat Mahomes to not get the ball last. It can't be on him, Mr. Perfect.
It is on him. It's also on him. But I'm saying that was the catalyst for our loss. Josh Allen is absolutely another big reason we lost. It's not all black and white. It is also it's a bit of a pie chart here.
He's the quarterback.
It's a bit of a.
He had 4 turnovers.
Okay, and Drake May got to have 3 turnovers against the Texans and still win. Like it's a team sport, bro. Like,
CJ Stroud had 100.
Yeah, and we ain't talking shit about him. Like. Fuck.
We ain't talking about CJ Stroud right now. That was bad too.
Yeah, yeah. Y'all just throw that. We don't talk about that. We just we love to talk about Josh and Lamar, but we don't talk about all those other guys. Like the fact is that to whom much is gifted. Too much is gifted. Josh, name another player in the history of the NFL that has had 5 consecutive 40 touchdown seasons.
What did I just say? To whom much is gifted?
What's gifted if he's hurt?
That's why we CJ Stroud ain't on their level.
Yeah, so
I'm not saying he don't deserve to be talked about, but he not on their level though.
So you're asking why we're not. You're asking why we're not giving the same sort of like criticism to Josh, and we're also making it a race thing for no reason at all. The fact is that Josh is the only Josh was the main reason they're there in the first place.
That was a joke. That was a joke, man.
I don't think I'm the only white guy here. I'm not trying to have that thrown at me. Like it's not funny, but like the fact is that Josh is like I don't know 35% to blame. I would give 40 to James Cook. Like it's simply like I'm giving the edge.
I think that
math ain't mathing for me.
That's fine.
I think Josh Allen gets that heavy criticism from people, whether it be media and everything, based on the way he plays, right? So, like, you have all.
I disagree, Mike. Josh Allen gets slurped by the media. That's why it's so irritating hearing him do it every week sometime when it comes to Josh Allen. That dude can absolutely praise like a god. And the first time he have a bad playoff game and have 4 turnovers, we gonna sit up here and say James Cook, or that we can't criticize this dude.
I just did though. Like,
what I'm saying,
you're acting like I'm saying he played well. No, he played like shit. There's a reason we lost, but he is not. That was not the catalyst. I promise you that if James Cook doesn't fumble, Josh Allen has one less turnover for sure. Actually, two probably. We don't go to overtime.
What I'm saying is that you're right, but what I'm saying is when he plays bad, you know, like me, I've been a criticizer of Josh Allen for years. Brandon knows this. Anyone who knows me knows I've been critical on him. So to me, I think because of how he plays in the season and there are high expectations, that's why, to your point, he gets slurped. But on the other hand, when these things happen, they don't want to give him all the blame. They want to look at the defense. They want to look at he didn't have a receiver. They want to look at that this happened, that happened. He lost the game. He lost the game, and that's okay. You know, but yet it's a team game. But they just the blame gets placed way too much around. Shit happens. But this year, they should have won. Bottom line, this was the year to do it. Like you said a couple weeks ago, don't matter who's there, who's not there. This was the year to do it, and they did not get the job done. And he knows he did not get the job done. He went up there and said he did not play well enough. He was on that podium crying for a couple reasons. One, he's tired of this at the end of every season. He's tired of the same question. Two, they lost the game. And three, he was crying, and most of all because that man up there, number 15, wasn't there, and he still didn't get the job done. I would be crying too. Because guess what?
Now he in the Super Bowl.
Because guess what's going to happen? I don't care what anyone says. And you know, Mahomes is going to come back, and you know what he's going to be on? A fucking tear. We've seen it before. Tom Brady tore his ACL in his 9th year, came back, and then had another Hall of Fame career. Mahomes tore his ACL in his 9th year. He's going to come back on a mission because he knows he didn't play well this season. He knows his team has expectations, and Josh Allen knows that he has expectations. And his expectation was, once the Chiefs were not going this way, to win. He didn't fulfill that expectation. But the question is, what do they do next? Because he's going to be he's in that same bubble as Lamar.
Yeah. He cried his coach out of a job, and he cuddled Brandon Beane into a promotion.
You know, so now you going into next season, you have a new coach and new coaches, and hopefully you draft something that'll be helpful for the Bills and in April. And more or less, you also are able to build around Allen and Cook, because now Cook had a phenomenal season. I mean, I won a fantasy league off the back of James Cook, legitimately. And you got to build around that. But
that's literally all they got to work with. Is Allen and Cook. Like, it's a 1-2 punch. They like Shaq and Kobe without the Rick Fox in them.
And then McDermott.
no Rick Fox, no Derek Fisher, no Robert Ory.
Yeah, exactly. And then for them to go up there and be critical of the roster after the fact. Y'all lost.
I don't like how they did Keon Coleman either. That was like, to go up there and blast that man like that on TV, talking about all that personal shit.
Yeah,
that shit was whack as fuck.
I agree. I hated that.
And they got to move him after that. Like it.
I mean, I wanted to move him before that. I'm not gonna lie. He can go elsewhere.
I'm not saying he's produced. He can go. I'm pretty sure Buffalo feel like he can go, but to do him like that was bold. He should have a chip on his shoulder.
No, I agree. That press conference really showed that, Terry is just not...
They need to learn how to identify talent when it comes to wide receivers, because that's y'all thing. Brandon Beane and his scouting team, they do not seem to identify talent when it comes to wide receivers.
Or
y'all get these flash in the pan, like
defensive linemen,
subpar separation receivers.
We have a bunch of wide receiver threes. We have a bunch of defensive. We haven't had a sack in a playoff loss since the 2020 AFC Championship game. Like, the roster is a fucking problem, and that is why Josh Allen gets slurped, because he really is and has been carrying this team for at least the past 2 years. This year with James Cook more than he was last year, because James Cook did take another step this year and did really well, but had a very untimely fumble. But I do believe that the main conversation should be that Drake May is the one that is in the Super Bowl along with Sam Darnold. And the original conversation was like, what does that mean? And as far as I'm concerned, it just means that it more than ever, it just shows that this is a team sport, and that we can't continue to judge quarterbacks like that, whether it be Lamar, whether it be Dak, whether it be Mahomes, whether it be any of these guys. Like, the entire team matters. Special teams matters.
Unfortunately, though, for whatever reason, that's just not how it looks. Like that's not how it's perceived. Everything goes off of, it's a quarterback league.
I agree.
People, like I said before we got on the air, people come to games to see offense. They come to see quarterbacks. They're not there to see these defensive guys. If they're there, cool. Sure, if you get a pick six, that's exciting. But people want offense. And unfortunately, that's something that we're not going to be able to change, because there's so many layers to everything. It's not all black and white. Like, I agree. It is.
Even when it was a running back league, the media created a narrative that it was a quarterback league. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And for a bunch of different reasons. So
that's true.
Because it didn't truly become a quarterback league until the last maybe 40 years or so.
Yeah.
And that might be generous. Like, you know what I'm saying? They still be talking about Namath. Namath made the Hall of Fame, and if you look at his numbers, and I'm not a strictly stats guy, if you really look at his career, he won that one game. You know what I'm saying?
Like, Bradshaw's stats are pretty ass.
But again,
why not be Joe Namath though? He was just the first one that came to my mind. I would say that, and again, if we talk about Bradshaw, if we compare his numbers to the modern game, then yeah, it should look mid too. But it's a different game. Like, you know what I mean? It's a completely different game.
Come back in them different eras, numbers gonna look mid. Unless you somebody like a Dan Fouts who really got to air it out.
I feel like Dan Marino changed the game, right? Like that's really
absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey, look.
But they had a great running game too.
Yeah, no, he did. And he had 2,000-yard receivers. You know what I'm saying? But again, him throwing for 5,000 when nobody was throwing for 4,000, you know what I mean, meant more. Which is why, when we did our rankings, and almost everybody got him in the top 10. That's okay. So look, when we talking about Josh Allen, and I'm not a Josh Allen apologist or anything like that. Dan Marino never won the Super Bowl, and we consider him a top 10 quarterback, right? One of the best to ever do it, right?
Hell yeah.
John Elway, I think he was basically 4th, 5th, 6th on almost everybody's list, right? He lost Super Bowls before he won one. He won his 2 in the last 2 years of his career. And he played 15, 16 years. Josh Allen ain't got to win a Super Bowl right now and end up being an all-time great quarterback. And that's that's that narrative that gets
breaking up real bad. I don't know if y'all can. Is it?
It's bad. Yeah,
breaking up real bad.
I think he's driving, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm pulling up. Can y'all hear me?
I kind of heard.
I can hear you now.
Too, though.
Now we can hear you.
Okay. Okay. No, I'm just saying, it's not the media narrative. You know what I mean? Over the course of time, has overtaken the truth and the facts. Nobody was killing John Elway for losing 3 Super Bowls. For one, he lost to 3 teams that was just fucking better. You know what I'm saying? But he didn't win his 2 Super Bowls until the very end of his career, and he's still considered to be one of the very best quarterbacks we've ever seen.
because he was
It's just
Dak
different
Jackson.
now. He was, and so was Dan Marino, and he never won one. You know what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
Steve Young, and I'm a Steve Young fan, but Steve Young had about a 10-year run maybe because he was sitting back. He went to Tampa
I
Bay
would say
first,
like
and
10-year
then
run
went
for
to the
Stevie Young. Yeah.
USFL, and then you know what I mean, came to San Francisco and sat behind Montana. And then they was, you know what I mean, getting, you know what I mean,
I,
flip
I
flop and
think
shit.
it's
But
I think it's a part of the but like the words you keep using too though. Like you keep saying, it's the narrative with everything. Because see, you got to think
yeah,
about it. John Elway was a highly touted college quarterback. Not saying that some of these other guys weren't, but he was different. He was a what you call a generational quarterback.
yeah,
He went number one overall to Denver. He
yeah,
helped change that franchise. He was in the Super Bowl within his first 3 years. He was in the Super Bowl uh
mm-hmm.
three times and shit. Then you had to drive. So he like when you think about John Elway, that's another reason why a lot of people got him so high up there because it's a different when you got all of that shit on your shoulders going number one like him, like Peyton, like
and,
dudes
and,
who done went number
and,
one and had
and
to
what I'm
change the franchise and
And what I'm saying is, if he was the same person in the modern media, it would be completely different. His career would be looked at different. He went 2-3 in the Super Bowl. Um,
He had a lot of
Peyton Manning.
turnovers.
And again, he for again, like objectively, he played against, like, you know what I mean, Montana and the 49ers and
49ers.
LP
Yeah.
and the Giants and the Redskins. Like, I'm not saying he was supposed to win those, but what I'm saying is, as highly touted, again, to your point, as highly touted as he is, he still to this day is considered to be one of the most decorated prospects, you know what I mean, at quarterback ever.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Based off of, you know what I mean, whatever their measurements and everything were. Whatever their
Yeah.
criteria was. He's still to be considered to be, you know what I mean, in that upper tier in a whole different room than almost everybody else. Montana wasn't in
Yeah.
that. Montana was a third round pick. Like,
Him,
you know what I'm saying?
him and
So
Marino. Him and
so
Marino.
like he was, it's a different sport, but the best analogy I can give is he was like LeBron at quarterback in 1984. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And again,
That's why he was able to get the
LeBron lost,
deal he got.
right, and LeBron lost his two first finals, and people went crazy, right? You know what I mean? And the narrative was, oh, like he, whatever the case may be. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's just the media, the way that they view everything, and it's not that it wasn't like shit. It was media that hated on MJ. You know what I mean? That said he was a gunner that wasn't never gonna win nothing. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden, not all of a sudden, but when he started winning, everybody was, oh yeah, I always knew. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they do it with Kobe. Like, you know what I mean? It was a lot of people who hated on
Mm-hmm.
Kobe. It was people who were doing the same thing with Peyton Manning because Peyton Manning didn't win until what, his eighth or ninth season or something like that,
Yeah, it took him a minute. It took
somewhere
him a
around like it.
minute.
And it was media that was, you know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, when they put you on that pedestal and you don't live up to their standards, then the narrative is somehow you failed. You know what I mean? It's again, so that's what I'm saying. Like, it's just a different kind of narrative on these quarterbacks, particularly, especially with all the money they make. Like, so look, if Josh Allen don't win a Super Bowl for the next 2-3 years, but then he win three in a row, then what? Like, you know what I'm saying? What they gonna say? So, like, it is some truth to the fact that that organization has not done him a whole lot of favors. It is some truth to the fact that James Cook, that fumble, like, look, Josh Allen, I feel like he was trying to play Superman because he ain't really got the kind of help he needs. You know what I mean? And that fumble was at a very important juncture in the game. Like, you know me, Mr. More Than One Thing Can Be True. All of this shit is true. You can decide how you want to weigh it all out and how much more or less, you know what I mean, it all matter, but it's truth to it all. Yeah, he could have played a better game. I'm not gonna say, you know what I mean, that that's not true. But I also understand why he was out there trying to carry his team. You know what I'm saying? And we done seen it where he done fell short. We done seen it where shit, the 13-second game, like goddamn, like you know what I mean? You can't hold that against him because he put his team in position to win that game with 13 seconds left. It's very rare that it happens that way. You know what I mean? That 13 seconds, somebody gonna get you like that. But Mahomes is Mahomes. Like all of this shit is true. You know what I mean? And he gonna get judged by it all. It's just I'm not again, I'm not a Josh Allen apologist in the general sense. When we talking about like generationally great athletes and whatever sports you're talking about, it's kind of fucked up that they get judged in real time and that they don't when, not that they don't get to be critiqued in real time. You know what I'm saying? You play a shitty game, you play the shitty game, we get to talk about it. But like when you start talking about like they legacy and shit, and they in they fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, you know what I mean, eighth season, like no, they always gonna come up short against the greatest of the greatest of the greats because they got a complete body of work, like you know what I mean, and they getting judged, you know what I mean, in real time against, you know what I mean, like they chasing ghosts and shit, you know. Some of them, some players ain't even competing with the players on the field or on the court with them. They competing with motherfuckers that you know what I'm saying are legendary and retired already. That's who they competing with. It's only that's a short list. It's a short list, but it's crazy. You know what I mean? Sometimes and like I say, this ain't even all about Josh Allen. Just like in a general sense for me, like the way I view it all. It's like goddamn, like everybody is not gonna be. It's a short. It ain't too many Patrick Mahomeses or um not John Elways Montanas that just came out off the rip. You know what I mean? Winning a whole bunch of Super Bowls like that. It's not a whole lot of those people. Aikman, you know what I mean? I guess kind of sort of, but it ain't a whole lot of those quarterbacks. And it seemed like any quarterback that they, you know what I mean, kind of put on the great pedestal before they even great, when they don't do it fast enough, like damn, that's a problem. And I don't think that's the players' issue. I think that's the media thing.
That had a lot of hype to live up to.
You said who?
I say Troy Aikman. That's another one that had a lot of hype to live up to coming out of college. Not on Elway level, but he was hyped.
Well, and the other thing to everything Will's saying is sometimes certain quarterbacks aren't good for a team at that time. Which even though we kind of harp on the Jets about letting Darnold go, but maybe like look how many years it took him to finally find his rhythm, right? Like the Jets are a team that seems to want to have it right now. They're hoping to get that lightning in the bottle and get that guy that's going to take them because it's New York, because the media and the criticism, and amongst that, they're just a bad organization. Like that's just what it is. What's your owner's name, Raj? Woody, help me out here. What's his name?
Woody.
His name should not be mentioned on this podcast. But go ahead.
But that's the thing. Sometimes quarterbacks just don't pan out.
I mean, but it almost never happens. It almost never happens in their first couple years. Like Peyton Manning, first 2 years, go back and look at the numbers. You know what I mean? Again, Brady, when he finally got on the field, he wasn't terrible, but he wasn't like it. Almost never happens that way. It's very, very, very few quarterbacks who just ball. You know what I mean, off the rip, and it's becoming more common now.
And some of them that did ball off the rip, they sat behind somebody before they got in the game and had a chance to learn. They weren't just thrown to the fire.
Like Aaron Rodgers and Jordan Love, they got it right.
Yeah.
They got it because they was set back and they watched the main quarterback or the legendary quarterback play first.
Favre too.
That's what. Well, him too.
Favre sat behind Machikowski.
That's true.
And he was in Atlanta before that. Like he didn't play his first couple years.
Yeah. But I'm saying like both of those guys I use because they played behind Hall of Famers. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And in order for you to understand how to play the game, you got to watch and see, especially in football. Yeah. It's different than any other sport. Football is more cerebral.
And that's like Trevor Lawrence, right? Me and Raj were really critical of him when he came into the league, and now it's looks like he's finding his own, right? But he didn't sit behind no one. I think for him, he had to learn how to lose because up until he got to the NFL, if I'm not mistaken, he had never game
No.
on any
Basically.
level.
Yeah.
Basically.
High school,
Yeah.
college. Yeah.
He comes to the league and wins like 3 games or whatever it was, and you're like, damn. But now he's finding his way, and I think that's due to finding a coach as well who could coach him and just finding the way. And then you look at, I just read a funny stat actually that Geno Smith got traded, right? Or whatever the case was, from Seattle, and they going to the Super Bowl. And now the team he was on got the first overall pick.
Yeah. And you know what's
Point
funny
I'm
about
saying
that? I was
Go ahead.
going to mention that too. I'm sorry to cut you off, but real quick,
No, you're
I
good.
was going to mention Geno Smith. Like, we didn't believe in Geno, right? And I knew when he left, he was going to play better because he was going to have that fire under him. He wasn't going to. He didn't feel like, okay, this is my team. You know what I'm saying? Because when you're just coming into the NFL and they put you out there as like the guy, 9 times out of 10 you're going to fail. But that second team, we watched it with Baker, we watched it with Geno, we watched it with Sam Darnold, we watched it with a whole bunch of these players where they get that second or third chance and then they just take off and they become that franchise quarterback. So,
Hey, Raj, I got 2 questions for you.
yeah, what's up?
I got 2 questions for you, Raj. Number one, do you think that it's a organizational thing? Maybe like with just poor choice in coaching? Because again, like I feel like I'm a firm believer that it's very, especially in football, it's so few players that no matter what team draft them and what kind of system they end up in, they gonna end up being like a all-time great player. I think
Right.
like 90-95% of players, they need the right coach, the right system, right organization. Because I feel like coaching matters so much more in football than any other like major, you know what I mean, for sports. Like I really do think it matters that much more. So do you think it's like just them making poor choices? Because again, clearly we seeing that Sam Darnold is somebody that you can win with,
Yeah.
but you know, like they just clearly they didn't have like the proper, you know what I mean, system around them. What do you think that is?
Real quick, and I'm gonna answer it. I'm gonna give it back to Mike. But I think it's coaching, and I also think it's culture because the New York media is horrible on quarterbacks.
Yeah.
If you're not balling, if you're not winning most of your games, if you're trying to figure it out, like because they get what the New York media will do, they'll build you up, and then they'll throw you out there. And Mike knows, Solstice, you know too, because we in the New York market. They'll build you up like you're the second coming of like the savior, right? And then they'll build you up so high in your first couple of games. I'll say probably like mid-season, probably like after like 7 or 8 games. If you don't live up to expectations of being great, they kick you to the curb or they kill you in the media. How many times have we done seen these quarterbacks get dragged? I mean, literally dragged in the media. They're trying to figure it out. So to answer your question, I think it's the coaching because coaches don't really got the patience like they used to. And then it's also the culture here in New York where it's like they don't care if you are a rookie. Win some damn games. And if you're not winning games, then you got to go. They got to ship you out. And it happens every single time.
If Cam Ward would have came to New York and had the season he just had, and like not for nothing, like Tennessee's giving him nothing to work with.
Right.
And them hiring Robert Saleh does nothing if you don't change anything with the team. The New York media would have ate him, spit him up. Like his career could have been over. So it's why it's good to see Darnold get away from that, right?
Yeah.
But you see Geno has had more success, but he ain't had the success he was supposed to have. That's why it was good he got that fat contract when he did.
Okay. So that New York media is real like that. It's not just a myth.
Oh, it's
It's
not
horrible.
it's legit.
My second question was, do you really think Geno was really going to be able to thrive with the Jets after my man broke his jaw in the locker room?
Hell no. I knew it. I'm glad you mentioned
That was the second question.
I'm glad you mentioned that. Because you know what? I totally forgot about that. Look, let me say this.
Anyone else remember the name of the guy?
I forgot
No.
his name.
Because he
IK
got cut. He was
Polly.
a backup. He got cut immediately. What's his name?
Yeah. What was his
And
name?
the Bills picked him up because we had Rex Ryan at that point. It was IK
Yeah.
and Polly.
Yeah. Let me say this. Gino, I would have loved to see him play in New York. I'm not gonna lie, because I thought it was pretty dope to see him play. I thought he had some potential. However, after that situation, I was like, yo, he's out of here. As soon as they mention trade or demand for trade, he is gone. Or they're gonna waive him. Because I knew that was a toxic situation. I have never, in all the years I've been watching sports, I'm talking about any sport, I've never heard somebody break somebody's jaw. That's
Not their own teammate.
That's what I'm saying. On the same team. That is toxic.
Not their quarterback. Not their quarterback. You don't touch the quarterback.
Quarterback. Not
You
somebody
don't touch the quarterback.
if it was like a kicker. Nah, you did it to your quarterback, bro. What the hell is wrong with you? That's how I knew the Jets. They're not winning the Super Bowl any time in my lifetime. I knew it after that. I'm like, I just got to just enjoy the vibes. I'm not going to see a Super Bowl.
Well, we're going to see. I mean, that's going to be interesting.
Damn, I forgot about that.
There's one topic I want to get in here before we do our Super Bowl prediction, speak about that a little bit. Does everyone have their top 10 coaches ready?
Yeah.
All right. So I'm sure y'all know what this topic is, what I'm about to bring up. For the audience, I'm going to give y'all a clue what I'm about to talk about. You know, I'm getting fucking sick of the organization.
Oh God, I know what you're
This
talking
is
about.
directly to you, Art Rooney, you dumbass.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Whoops.
Bro.
Get him, Mike.
For everyone out there who wanted Mike Tomlin gone, I pray to the good fucking Lord we win 4 games this season or less. Pray for it. Because this hire is asinine. I don't like it. And people think I'm being too rough, that I should give it a shot. Fuck that. I let y'all have Aaron Rodgers last year. I'm not doing this. Not doing this. Now, I'm going to deal with it, of course, because it's done. Don't mean I got to like it. To me, looking at this, when I look at Mike McCarthy, does he deserve to coach? Yes. But people weren't asking for his services, except the Steelers. The fact that it came down to him and Brian Flores is crazy. The last 3 times we hired a coach, they were in their 30s. You've hired a 62-year-old man with an old school mindset. Some say he's a white version of Mike Tomlin. I've heard people calling him Dwight Tomlin online. Dwight Tomlin. But here's my thing. He was in Dallas. There was a season that they went 12-5. Dak had a career year, I believe, in his time there. And they weren't able to win the Super Bowl, which it's Dallas. We don't expect them to do that. But with the talent they had and the defense they had at that time, that was the expectation, right? Now you come over here, and we have far less talent than Dallas had at that time and far less talent than Dallas has now. What is he going to do with this team? Well, I'm reading that they said he can mold quarterbacks. What quarterback? You going to throw Will Howard in there? That's what I think we should do and see what happens. You going to mold him into something? I just don't see it. There's just still that old school mentality there. I'm looking at guys I'm looking at young cats get young coaches get to the playoffs here. I'm looking at the Texans coach, DeMarco, what's his name? I'm looking at you look at Mike McDonald,
Nico Ryans.
DeMarco Ryans. I'm looking at Jacksonville's coach. I think like the oldest coach who got there was probably what's his name? Harbaugh. Maybe Vrabel. I don't know his age, but he's been around a little longer. He's been to the playoffs and things. I don't like this. The organization is definitely going backwards. And the fact that you're mentioning bringing Aaron Rodgers back still instead of trying to move forward, and then you hire a guy who keeps you where you are instead of moving forward, God bless you, makes no sense. Makes no sense at all. And, I'm disgusted. I'm disgusted because the team's done nothing to help themselves since Roethlisberger retired. And even his last year or two, he probably shouldn't have been out there because it just got harder to watch. And then, Tomlin decided to walk. That's cool. I'd rather him walk than him get fired. Maybe they agreed on it, whatever the case is. And then you bring in McCarthy, like, bro, what is there for me to look forward to as a fan going forward? Not much. Not much. I might as well just pack it in and become a Jets fan. Just be disappointed. Just have my feelings hurt. I'm just at that point. And I know you can pick this apart. I'm talking solely off of emotion and hurt. Because, when I started watching football, I got spoiled. We were winning. We were good. Now, for like 10 years, we ain't been good. Well, ain't been good enough. I don't know. Whoever wants to go next, I've had my moment. And, by the way, fuck you, Art Rooney. Go to hell.
I would argue you need to get bad before you can get good. That being mediocre is worse than being bad.
Exactly. I was going to say the same thing. I swear I was going to say that.
Well, that's why I asked to win 4 games. We got to be bad.
Well, you get this is a good hire. You're getting what you need.
Exactly.
You're not getting over the hump with Aaron Rodgers at 43.
Yeah. No, you're not.
But the thing is,
I'm gonna make sure that I put my bet in early this time because I want to try to win money. If I can make myself a millionaire, hell, if I can make myself a thousandaire.
Hey, what I will say is,
hold on. I am gonna put money as soon as I can. Whenever the odds start to come out again, Pittsburgh will win this division again next year under Mike Tomlin. The reason why I say that is because all they did was show us that
you said Mike Tomlin?
Yeah, he said
Mike
McCarthy.
I mean under Mike McCarthy, under Mike McCarthy. But it's still gonna be the same program. It's still gonna be the same shit. That's why I know that it was not a mutual agreement. They weren't gonna fire him or anything like that. If Mike Tomlin still wanted to coach and still wanted to be in Pittsburgh, he would still be their coach right now today. He chose to walk away. He didn't want to be there anymore. And they went with the safe pick. How do you not bring in Brian Flores to be your head coach with that defense that you just spent all that money on last season and you stuck with these players under contract on the defensive side of the ball, and this dude, we see what he do with defenses, and you choose to go with Mike McCarthy, the safe pick. He was the one that they looked at and they felt like this is as close to Tomlin as we can get, and they went with the safe pick. They'll probably be 9-8 again next year, and win the division again next year. It'll be, mark my words, it's gonna be a repeat. The same shit.
And mind you, it came down to Brian Flores and Mike McCarthy as their final 2 before they ultimately agreed to hire McCarthy. Go ahead, Will. You were going to say something before.
I don't love the hire. I don't hate it. I feel like it was a safe. You know what I mean? Like The Steelers are kind of not even kind of. They known for you know what I mean. Kind of thinking outside of the box. They done had 3 coaches in what 69 years or something like that. You know what I mean? So um, they get it now, but I feel like if they was gonna go in a different direction, they should have just for real went in a different direction. Um, I understand the idea of like getting bad before you get good, but one of the things that's made the Steelers the last again, 40, 50 years or whatever it is that they always did a good job of drafting well, finding, you know what I mean, diamonds in the rough in the third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh round. Um, it doesn't seem like that's been happening as much lately. You know what I mean? They don't, obviously they don't found like, solid pieces and players, but it it doesn't it feel like that organization need a reset to me. That's my opinion. It worked the way it worked for the last how many ever years, but I feel like this would have been a good time to kind of go a little younger and a little fresher. Um, I don't. I kind of think McCarthy as a coach to say, and at the risk of being redundant, because y'all heard me say this a bunch the last few weeks. I kind of think of him as a coach the same way I think of Sam Darnold and Jared Goff and Jalen Hurts as a quarterback. Can you win with him? Yeah. Will you win with him? Huh? Because he had prime Aaron Rodgers and walked away with 1 Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying that's all on him, but as the head coach, like I feel like he underachieved. You know what I mean? With what he had over those years that he was the head coach of the Packers. Um, God bless anybody that find any success as coach of the Cowboys because that's a whole shit show. That's a whole different conversation. You know what I mean? I'm not, he did have some success. I know they fell short in the playoffs, but
Would
I
they
don't,
go
like I
back
said,
to back 13 win?
something like that, yeah, right. But they, I don't think they ever won a playoff game though, right? They
No,
lost every time they lost
they won one playoff
1
game
1
against
Yeah.
the Tom Brady in his last year. The
in
Tampa
Tampa.
Bay.
Yeah,
Remember
okay, yeah,
Dak
yeah, yeah, yeah,
went
right, yeah,
crazy.
yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like,
But
like it's
it wasn't Tampa Bay though. It wasn't the same Tampa Bay team that had won the Super Bowl.
that won the
It
Super
wasn't the
Bowl.
super
Yeah,
team.
But
yeah.
can
And
I ask a
again,
question?
he won the game, but that's just to me it's a meh. It's meh. It's him. Like I don't,
That that
um.
that that's
Who
something
are
I
you gonna
gotta
say,
ask y'all real quick. Mike, do you feel it's a bad hire because it's Mike McCarthy, or do you feel it's a bad hire because you got to go through a rebuild?
both?
Okay, but let me ask you a question: would you rather this team
I
be
don't
like eight
I
and
don't
eight?
think Mike McCarthy is the hire for a rebuild. I think they
I don't.
hired him to stand pat.
I
I
think
don't think that hire. I don't think they hire him for a rebuild. I agree.
I,
I agree.
I think right now they're trying to figure out still how to win instead of just getting with the fact that you need to rebuild. Right? I would much rather you bring in a younger coach like you've done, and if you don't win a couple years, fine. But you're creating a new culture, if you
Culture.
will.
Hmm.
Well,
And
that's why I'm asking because I
McCarthy,
don't
oh,
think.
before you hold on.
Mhm.
McCarthy does not bring new culture. It's still the old school mindset. So, like literally, like when you look at it, he is white Mike Tomlin. Like, like you could really
Yeah,
look at
I,
it that way.
but okay,
I
and
dis
you can
I disagree because Mike Tomlin reset the culture. Just
right.
just like before him, Bill Cowher did, and
Yep.
before him, like you know what I'm saying.
But
Like
that
they were all in their mid to late 30s when they got hired as coaches, which at the time for all of them that wasn't a common thing. You
right,
know what
but
I'm saying?
that's why it's the same.
But
That because you're not going with a younger guy, fresh eyes. You're going with another old school guy who's going to carry the old school way. The Steelers need to get with the fact that way doesn't work. Look at the coaches who are in the playoffs this year. that culture's not going to work. And instead of subsiding and saying, okay, we need to make a real change, the talk is that this hire was to bring Aaron Rodgers back. That does not get the job done.
Not necessarily.
No, but it's yep, go ahead. There's a possibility that that's a reality of this hire, whether we like it or not. That's my thing is, yes, he reset the culture for that time. But in the last 7 times that Mike Tomlin's been to the playoffs, guess what? The Steelers have been on the losing side. Hell, he's lost.
I got a question for you, Mike.
He's lost more in the first round than Tracy McGrady at this point.
I got a question for you, Mike. Even if you feel like maybe that the Steelers are a little antiquated, you know what I mean, and the choices they make and the way they move it, do you really feel like they would hire McCarthy to keep Rodgers for maybe 1 year, maybe one more year? Like you feel like that?
I personally think they hired McCarthy, to R&B's point, a safe bet, and 2, they are afraid to admit to rebuilding. It's just time. You have to rebuild. And in order to rebuild, you have to use younger pieces. McCarthy's not a young guy. He's going to come in here and do the same thing he's been doing, which did not work, obviously, the way they wanted it in Dallas. And now he's a couple years removed from that. So now that mindset is further from what it was then. This isn't the coach who we rebuilt.
And to add to that as well, it is noted that they said that they felt like, going with him, it would kind of help in their bargaining to try to lure Aaron Rodgers back for another year. That speaks of delusion. And we all know that I'm an Aaron Rodgers fan. Like, that's my guy. That's delusional to me. And it's not delusional the fact to me that they want to bring Aaron Rodgers back. It's delusional to me the fact that they want to bring him back and not build the team that's needed for a 43-year-old quarterback to have success.
Right.
He's not going to carry you. So that tells me that you just playing safe bet. That, like, they delusional.
Yeah.
They delusional. There's no way that you're thinking that this is going to win a championship unless you align the pieces properly. You get talent. You get an offensive line, a decent run game, another wide receiver opposite DK, a decent tight end. Well, the weapons. Shit that Tom Brady had when he went to Tampa Bay.
Right. You're just not going to win with this. And Brandon, you haven't gotten in here. You got something you want to add to this conversation?
I mean, it would be kind of an echo chamber. I feel basically the same way. You guys need to reset, or if you need to really go all in and make your roster amazing. If you really, really think you're gonna actually vie for a Super Bowl, otherwise, I think you're just gonna sit there at 8-9, 9-8, 7-10, 10-7 for eternity, one and done, and that's why being mediocre is arguably worse than being bad, because you need to move on to the future. You're not getting that quarterback pick with like 18, 19. You need to get up there to, like, you have to be lucky to get what Baltimore got with Lamar. Like, you're way better you're way more likely to get something good if you're bad. So if they're trying to just like tank the next year, honestly, it's probably in their best interest, if you ask me.
Hey, look, Will can attest to that, to this shit. As Pistons fans, after the going to work Pistons, man, we spent year after year after year in total mediocrity of not being the worst team in the NBA, but not being one of the better ones. So we were always picking somewhere between eight and farther, and we weren't hitting on none of those picks. It wasn't until we finally were bad enough to where we ended up getting a top pick in Cade, and then we were able to get Duran and Ivy, that things were kind of starting to turn around for us here. And so
hey,
like,
look,
like I agree with Brandon.
we could keep it Lions. You know what I'm saying? And we was just having the one conversation the other day when I was saying I never wanted Joey Harrington. I wanted Julius Peppers in that draft because I never believed in Joey Harrington. But the Lions won the Lions won 2 games. The Panthers won 1 game. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, and then like the Burrow year, they won a couple of games that they ain't had no business. Like, it's plenty of years where I would have rather the Lions lost more games. You know what I mean? Because they was either and again in that middle of the pack area, or they lost just enough games not to be able to draft a generational talent. You know what I'm saying? So
Well, I mean, hey, we're gonna see what the Steelers do. I ain't expecting much out of them, but it's gonna be what it's gonna be. So before we get to our quarterbacks and players, I mean, we can discuss this more in depth next week. But just for the conversation right now, just up and down it. Who y'all got winning this Super Bowl?
We got to pick now.
I mean, we can save it to next week if you want. I don't care.
is the game next week or is it a 2 week gap?
It's
Nah,
a
2 weeks.
gap.
2 weeks.
2 weeks? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we can talk about it next week.
I like that. I say we save our coaches for next week too. Just an extra topic to have next week because are we really going to talk about the Pro Bowl?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but the problem is, watch you'll be working till like 9:00 at night.
Oh, actually, I'll be in California.
Oh, well,
See?
who's the fuck out of us?
He gonna be 3 hours behind.
Man, let's get the coaches out the way, man. I'm ready to move on to something else. I done had this coaches list for like 2 weeks.
Okay.
All right. Well, about to say, I done lost the damn list. There it is.
Yeah, I'm getting the whole fuck out of here.
All right, everyone, let me know when you got your list up.
I'm ready.
Hey, Solstice, is Josh meeting you there?
I wish.
At least you admitted it.
I feel like I've been biased with my guy, but I feel like I've been objectively fair. I do tell.
I'm gonna harass you, man. It's okay if you harass me with Aaron Rodgers or Jared Goff and Goff. Over some shit,
I feel like you've been objectively fair with your teams too. I feel, but I agree with you that the media glazes Josh, and I can't. Or that's why I'm like, I want to be a fair person on a podcast, a Bills fan that can objectively be like, Josh is and can be a problem.
But you forget that I did say that he deservingly was being glazed. He deservingly was being glazed.
Okay, so I'm glad we're on the same page.
All right, everyone got their list.
I wish we could glaze
the views expressed in this podcast do not reflect the views of everybody involved.
Yeah, thank you.
Would like to voice a player opinion. Please get your ass on the show.
I'm just talking shit.
All right.
Number 10. Let's go.
All right. Number 10, I got for what you call it. 4th most wins all time. 3-time Super Bowl champ. 6-time appearances, Andy Reid, baby.
All right. Brandon, you want to go?
I got Joe Gibbs. Went 3-1 in the Super Bowl.
All right. Well, I'll go next. It's number 10, and this is my list.
Oh, here we go.
Boy.
Jeff Fisher.
Yeah,
Oh God.
Okay. No Super Bowls. But he got
Mangini, Eric Mangini. That's who you got at number 10.
No, number 10. He got my team to the playoffs at least 3 times out of 5 years. Herm Edwards. That's my number 10.
Playoffs.
Play
to win the game, Rod. Play to win the game.
Play to win the game.
You play
That's my guy.
to win the game.
That's my guy.
Hey, you know what? He deserved it. Hey, listen.
Funny about him saying that shit. His face has been the same way ever since he said that.
Ever since. He never changed.
Hey, look. Hey, Herm deserved at least one vote just for that soundbite. You know what I'm saying? I ain't even mad at him. I can't be mad at him.
What was the last good coach soundbite we got?
Hello?
Yeah, that was the last one. I think that was back
Yeah,
like
we
None
thought
better than
05.
Denny Green. None better than Denny Green.
They are who we thought they were. Love that one.
You said you got Denny Green?
No.
Oh no! You talking about the they are who we thought they were.
Yeah.
And we let them off. We let them off the
Hey, I got a few honorable mentions I want to throw out there real quick before I give y'all my 10. I just so honorable mentions. Y'all might have them. I don't know, but I got Pete Carroll, Mike Tomlin, Mike Holmgren, and Bill Parcells. Honorable mentions. 10. This the only one. It's my list. It's my list.
See?
This is the only one. We got a 10A and I have a 10B, and that's the only one that I have like this.
Damn.
It's the only one. It's the only one.
All right. Go ahead.
10A, I have Chuck Noll. 10B, I have Tom Landry.
What? You got him that down? You got that much down on the list?
Yeah.
Damn. I might have to redo my list then.
You might have to. You might have to.
All right. Go ahead.
For me, my number 10 is Mike Shanahan.
Okay. All right, Mike.
Okay.
Number 9.
Number 9, I got Joe Gibbs.
I've got Tom Landry.
Yeah, I definitely got to redo my list. Number 9. Number 9.
Landry was in my.
I got Pete Carroll.
He said I got to redo my list.
Yeah, because I'm looking. I'm like, damn, was Tom Landry that bad?
Landry was in my honorable mentions. He almost made my list. My number 9 is Bill Parcells.
My number 9 is Andy Reid.
All right. Mike, number 8.
We're on 8 now.
Yeah.
I got Tom Landry at 8.
I've got John Madden at 8.
Okay.
I thought about Madden.
Yeah, he's in my honorable mention. I got to give John Madden that.
He just didn't have. He didn't coach long enough.
Nah, that's the thing. But the video game was everything to me.
It's the overall cultural impact. He was 1-0 in the Super Bowl. Like he was really good at coaching as well. Like
I agree.
And Pete Carroll was somebody's number 9, right?
Yeah, that was mine. That was
okay. Okay.
Number 8 for me, I got John Harbaugh.
John Harbaugh?
Yeah.
The guy who just got fired?
Yeah, but he didn't deserve to get fired.
Yes, he did.
No, he didn't. Yo,
yes,
you know what? We're not going to disrespect John Harbaugh.
Raj, you might as well.
Probably should do your list again.
When we do these lists, you might as well just start with the Stephen A. The list is fluid.
Nah, no. He won a Super Bowl.
Okay.
Oh my God.
So how we not
Tom Landry won 2, Joe Gibbs won 3.
Yeah, but I didn't say he's top 5. I said he's number 8.
10. Like
it's nobody on my list with less than 2.
There's nobody moving forward that has less than 2 for my list.
All right.
I like I say, everybody on my list has at least 2.
John Madden is the only one I have with only 1.
He could have won too.
John Madden could have won
Likewise.
too.
And-
Well, John Harbaugh had plenty of chances to do so.
right,
Yeah.
and came up. He should have walked away like John Madden. Maybe we'll look at him different. He could have been
Exactly.
the new.
He
New one.
just
They would have
stopped.
changed it from Madden. It would have been Harbaugh 28. But he fucked it up. He stayed around too long.
He stayed
Look what I
around
did
too
there.
long.
What
they
number
say
8,
at Batman?
I got what it is. I got John Madden 26. God damn it, at number 8, right along with Sosa's.
Okay.
Okay. My number 8, and he kind of put Madden off the list for me because I got Jimmy Johnson at number 8. I know, again, short career, not as long, but he got 2 of them things in a real short amount of time. And we all know if he had if he wouldn't have got fired, you know what I'm saying? It might have been 4. You know what I'm saying? It might have been 4. What's my man that ended up getting that one couple years later? Came from Oklahoma State. I can't even think. Switzer. Switzer got one off the love of Jimmy Johnson. You know what I'm saying? And when you talk about effect, influence on the game and everything like that, I don't even think he's really get the credit he deserves. So yeah, I got him at 8.
All right.
He was on my honorable mention. Yeah.
So we're on number 7 now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I got Bill Parcells at 7.
I got Andy Reid at 7.
I got Bill Parcells at 7 as well.
Well, I'm giving him the respect he deserves. I got Jimmy Johnson at number 7.
You said who at 7?
Jimmy Johnson.
Jimmy Johnson. Okay.
Pause.
Hey, real quick side note. I thought it was the funniest shit in the world that they gave Jimmy Johnson a contract for extends. that shit was hilarious to me. Like, y'all niggas ain't slick. At number 7, I got Joe Gibbs. One with 3 different quarterbacks, and all of them was mediocre. No disrespect, Raj. I know you got Doug Williams in your top 10. I ain't trying to hate on your guy. And it was a strike year, but we'll talk about that later, though. It's all good, bro.
Oh, man. All right. Number 6, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, for number 6, I got Jimmy Johnson.
I got Bill Parcells.
Number 6, I got the guy that looked like a car salesman, Dan Reeves.
Dan Reeves?
Yeah.
Yo, Raj be doing these players dirty. Niggas they look like Walmart.
Hey, Raj like that blazer Dan Reeves used to rock on the sideline. I know what it is, bro. The last coach out here rocking a blazer. I got you.
Exactly.
Professional.
That's why I called him the used car salesman.
I'm with you, bro. I'm with you.
You're the only one that caught it. Oh, shit.
Yeah, Raj must have been suffering watching Aaron Glenn and Capri's this year.
Oh, man. Hell no. Hell no. Him and what's his name? Mike Daniels.
McDaniel.
Mike McDaniel.
Yeah, Mike McDaniels. I can't stand
Weirdos.
them. They be dressed like they out there playing golf and shit. I can't stand it. Oh, man, that's hilarious.
I'm sorry, man. I preference my comments by saying respectfully, a grown man that'll wear capris, he'll touch your daughter.
Come on, man. Whoa. What's that? Yo, what's that disclaimer? What's that disclaimer you had? You didn't say that. You just did that disclaimer
Views
again.
expressed on this podcast are not necessarily.
It ain't got nothing to do with me. I didn't say that.
Ain't nobody say they disagree.
Man, that where's the creep?
Oh, they gonna pull this footage.
Fuck around, I have to call my lawyer tonight.
Oh shoot! Oh damn! All right. Number 6. Y'all hilarious.
Hey,
Hey, number 6, I got Joe Gibbs.
I got Gibbs at 6. All right. At number 6, I got Andy Reid.
Okay.
All right.
Number 5.
Number 5, I got Chuck Noll.
I've got Vince Lombardi.
Mike, you're gonna be mad, but I got Mike Tomlin on there, man.
Vince Lombardi at 5? Oh my God.
I got Mike Tomlin.
Tomlin at 5.
Bro, hold on, dog. Pause, dog.
Hey, my only.
Hey,
I'm just shocked he ain't got him number 1.
We came up with a rule, and Roger's not following the rules.
I am following the
He's
rules.
not following the rules.
What
This
more
is
do we?
supposed to be the greatest coaches in NFL history, and you just sat up here and told me Mike Tomlin at number 5.
Wait.
Yes.
Hey, bro, I gotta ask you. So that's your issue, not Dan Reeves at number 6? Like that's where you draw the line. Tomlin at 5. Tomlin got a Super Bowl at least. Like this where you drawing the
line. Tomlin got a ring.
You got my wife back here saying, "Leave Raj alone. It's his list."
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. What is wrong with my list?
It's not a personal favorites list.
It's not favorites. It's opinionated.
Oh man, wait till basketball season and we do the positions.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't.
And we doing centers first.
I'm letting you know right now. Jokic number 1, greatest center we ever witnessed with our 2 eyes. I don't care
gonna
what
have Shaq. Raj gonna have Shaq as an honorable mention.
I might. Shit, I might. That's a great take.
No, it's not.
What?
It's not that I don't like Shaq. It's just Shaq is pretty much one-dimensional.
He gonna be like Kareem.
That's not true.
You didn't watch Shaq, bro.
That's what people who didn't watch him say.
Oh, come on, man. Like y'all ain't going. No. We'll get there. We'll get there when we talk basketball. Let's finish this list.
So where we on? Did everyone give their 5? We on 4 now?
Yeah.
No.
No, they didn't do theirs.
Go ahead.
Number 5, I got George Halas.
My number 5 is Chuck Noll. Number 4.
Go ahead.
I'll go ahead. My number 4 is Bill Walsh.
That's also my number 4.
That's also my number 4.
Oh, damn. My number 4 is Don Shula.
My number 4 is Tom Landry.
Okay. Number 3, I got Don Shula.
Number 3, I got Don Shula as well.
Number 3, I had Bill Walsh.
Well, number 3, I got Andy Reid.
Number 3, I have Lombardi.
Okay.
All right. We getting there. Number 2, I got Bill Belichick.
I also have Belichick.
I wonder who y'all number 1 is. I got Don Shula as number 2.
I
I have Don Shula. I got Shula at number 2. Who'd you say, Ryan?
Lombardi.
Lombardi.
All right, number 1.
Yeah.
Number 1.
I got Bill Belichick at number 1.
I got Bill Belichick as number 1.
I got Belichick at number 1.
See, my list wasn't that bad.
Nah.
It's horrible.
I think me and
Don't just think.
I think me and Mike have the same person at number 1.
You got number 1?
I put Lombardi number 1.
No, oh, then I'm Chuck Noll.
Chuck Noll? Okay.
Yeah.
I put Noll at 5.
I forgot you said that. All right.
Not bad.
Mm-hmm.
We know Will got the numbers. I think he's calculating everything.
Quick rundown, because it's most of the other lists. There'd be so many different names that pop up. You know what I'm saying? This one, Belichick is number 1 or number 2 on everybody list. He got 3 number 1 votes, 2 number 2s. Number 2, quick math, looks like Bill Walsh wound up number. No, I'm lying. Lombardi wound up number 2. Bill Walsh number 3. Andy Reid wound up on everybody's list. I'm kind of surprised he was as low as he was.
I put him top 3.
Yeah, I had him. That was his highest vote. I had him 6, and then everybody it was 7, 9, 9, 10. Yeah, Lombardi was on everybody's list. Shula was on everybody's list too. He looked like he came in 3rd. Parcells made 4 out of 5. Yeah, I'm the only person who didn't give Landry a vote. Then it's a few people who got 1 vote from somebody here and there. But yeah, especially we know Herm got his vote. Shout out to Herm. Shout out to Coach Edwards.
You play to win the game.
Chuck Noll has a 1 and 10 vote.
You said Chuck Noll what?
Chuck Noll has a 1 and 10 vote.
Oh, true.
Yep.
And a 5.
Yep. He got a 1, a 10, and 2 5s.
That's crazy.
Yo, that's
So he literally is like the mean. He the average.
He's the range and the mean. That's crazy.
That's crazy.
That's awesome.
That's crazy.
Oh, that was
and the mode technically.
Oh, that was
that's crazy.
awesome.
I wouldn't even thought of none of that if you didn't say nothing. Damn. Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah.
I love that.
And then like I say, it's a handful of people who got like 1 vote. Like I say, Shanahan had 1, Herm had 1, Pete Carroll had 1, Madden got 2, Jim Harbaugh 1, Dan Reeves 1. Half of this is Raj list, but we ain't gonna talk about that. Tomlin and Hallen.
Play to win the game.
That's it.
Hey, I don't think we can argue he got the greatest soundbite in coaching history.
Facts.
This how he be looking on ESPN when he waiting for them to come to him to say something.
Next to the other sound bite when he says playoffs.
Are we doing top 10 sound?
No, that's Mora. That's Mora with the coach. Yeah,
No, that's what I'm saying. That's
playoffs.
playoffs.
We didn't do
About
diddly poo. What the fuck is diddly poo?
That's hilarious.
Are we doing top 10 sound bites next
Jim Mora did playoffs before AI did practice, bro.
Facts.
That was a message to the team, clearly. He didn't think they were playoff worthy. Playoffs?
Talk about playoffs, man.
Coaches, man. You said top 10 sound bites?
Yeah.
Is that
That,
what we're
Mm.
doing?
I mean,
We're
we
all
can
talking
go
about
with
sound
that.
bites now.
That'd be interesting.
Okay, so are
I'm
we
willing.
keeping? Is it just coaches? Is it just NFL? Is it all sports? Like what
I'm
we?
willing
I
to
need
expand
some.
it to all sports. I'm willing to
I
say
was
all
about to say I
sports
need some
Yeah, all
parameters.
right, that's
You
fine.
know what I'm saying?
All sports.
because like this is a list we can really all of us we can have top 10 all and
Yeah,
It's gonna be
yeah,
all over.
it's all opinion. It's all we're
yeah.
having fun. Like yeah,
Just so y'all know, in this list, no sports off limits. I don't care if it's UFC. I don't care if it's wrestling.
soccer,
We'll
hockey,
include
lacrosse, like
all sports.
I don't care if
Bro,
it's NASCAR.
international. Doesn't
I don't
matter.
care if it's golf.
I ain't gonna lie, Mike. If it,
We'll,
I
we'll,
don't really want to include wrestling because it's just gonna make it too hard for us. It's gonna make it way too hard for us
ah,
because you could do a sign. We could do a top
I know
150.
no. If we gonna do wrestling, we need to do a wrestling list. Like you know what I mean? Dedicated to wrestling. That's what I think. If we're gonna do wrestling, we could do a wrestling list. But if we're gonna do like I hate saying wrestling is fate, even though we all know it's predetermined. But if we're gonna do sports, like I say we keep it to that. Then we can do a wrestling list too.
all right, that's fair.
All
That's
right,
fair.
so you want to do all sports, but no wrestling, is what you're saying.
Outside of wrestling.
Man, I could do 10 Super Bowl 10 Super Bowl media day. It's just like I'm just here because I don't want to get fined.
Yep, that's funny. I was just thinking that. I was just Oh, I love the Super Bowl season, man. Those were that's
Man,
probably like top three easily top three.
man,
MVP.
man,
Disrespect.
I could do 10 just about off of my shine. Like you know what I'm saying? I could just do 10 off of beast mode. Shit, if we being honest.
Right.
Well, does everyone have a player for the week that they want to say they miss seeing or watch play?
Marshawn Lynch's running mate in Buffalo, Fred Jackson. I miss my
Mm.
dude. I miss my guy.
Nice.
Have you ever?
Speaking of running back, I gotta go with Frank Gore. Some reason he was one of them type of running backs that honestly I didn't think he'd ever get tackled. He was just running through dude.
And even late in his career, dude was a beast. 18th season running like
That's
it
what
was.
I'm saying. He was just
That's who
Buffalo Bill.
too. Frank Gore's that dude.
Frank Gore, man.
And his son's with us.
Yeah. Yep, sure is.
Oh man. I'm trying to think of one. Somebody else. I'm trying to think of a good one. Somebody I enjoyed. Champ Bailey.
Okay.
Champ Bailey has some of the most entertaining, beautiful red zone interceptions in NFL history.
Yep.
Mm.
That's a good one.
They don't make cornerbacks like that no more.
Nah.
I'm a little. I have a topic that we'll bring up next week.
Yes.
I have something. You say that. I have a thought. I'm curious to bring it up to you guys.
I'm looking forward to it.
My player, I am going to go with Steve McNair. Steve McNair. Aaron McNair.
Okay.
Aaron McNair.
R.I.P.
Yes.
That was my guy.
It's tragic how he died, man.
Man, most definitely.
Yep.
I didn't
Somebody
think
go to Warren Zion. He gonna be next.
Oh man, you on point with that. It's so funny you said that because real quick, and I know we're not talking basketball right now, but I gotta say this. He's gotta be the worst I've ever seen in NBA as far as choosing women to deal with. Like he's got to be the worst I've ever seen because the fact that you got Instagram models and OnlyFans models or whatever, and you're dealing with these women as if you can't go out there and find somebody at least worth your time. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm talking about somebody that's at least a millionaire. I don't know.
I don't know. I might have to go with Jalen Green and Dre and Michelle. Like that's
Well, I
that shit
mean,
is crazy.
in his defense, and I get it, you're right, but in his defense, at least he's not a serial dater or a serial smasher. Like this guy's actually
No,
smashing.
but she is. She done fucked half the league, and it's not a secret. Like everybody knows it. You know what I'm saying?
You're right
And
about that.
her oldest son, is the same age as him. Like that shit
That's
is
wild.
crazy.
That is wild. That is wild.
Yeah, that shit
That
wild.
shit is crazy.
Yeah.
It brings to question where these young niggas fathers at, man. Where your father at? Because
Exactly.
like who telling these motherfuckers like what the fuck? I don't get that one. That shit
I don't know.
gotta know
I,
better.
look, I don't get neither one of them. Like they both all fucked up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
Zion, man. I know
Zion,
we
yeah.
ain't talking basketball. Just real quick though, Zion, bro. For me, for me, I'm preferencing not media. This ain't media. This is how I feel about it. Like Rod say, it's his list. This is my list feeling. Zion is becoming the most disappointing number one pick I've ever seen in my time of watching basketball. And I even mean that over Kwame Brown.
I second that.
Like he just
I second.
all of the talent that he done had and shit. Like, and that's why I say for me, I'm not here to debate about it. It's for me.
Yeah,
He's a big disappointment for me, man. Big disappointment.
yeah.
Only reason I shook my head is because I don't even really think Kwame Brown is in the conversation like that. Like you know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Like
like us.
we thought Zion was gonna be a generational talent.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So you know,
Yeah, for
you
sure.
see what I'm saying? Like
I'm,
you know,
yeah.
so that's why I was
At
just kind
least
of
I
like,
can look. At
Yeah,
least I
say
can
no,
look back and say Kwame. Overall, I think at the end of the day, Zion has definitely, I guess you could say, done more. But
yeah.
I think, I think some people might respect Kwame's grind and career better though.
of course. I do. I
I,
do.
you know, for one, Kwame was the first player out of high school to be drafted number one. So
Yes.
it was a narrative with that, and this, you know what I mean, a certain kind of whatever that
Hmm.
came with that. That's beyond his control.
Yep.
Also, too, he was drafted by Michael Jordan. You know what I'm saying? With
Hmm.
his first pick as, you know what I mean, whatever his title was in the front office for the Wizards. So Kwame dealt with a lot of shit that ain't even really had nothing to do with him. You know what I'm saying? Not that Zion didn't, but Zion issues ain't never been like being in the spotlight because he was in the spotlight in high school to a certain degree,
Mhm.
and definitely at Duke, he just don't
Yeah.
want to fucking get in shape. Like you know what I'm saying? So that's what I said.
Well,
Like, and again, and we all expected him to be an all star caliber, possibly Hall of Fame kind of player. Nobody, I don't, you know,
Mhm.
I ain't saying nobody, but it wasn't like when Kwame came out, it was like a consensus that he was just the number one pick
Right.
that year.
When
You know what I'm saying?
And
Zion came out, everybody was saying his ceiling was Charles Barkley,
yep.
his
Yeah.
floor was Grandmama.
Hmm.
That's a hell of a motherfucking balance.
Right? Yeah, yeah.
And the key
It's
word you
almost
said,
Chuck Noll, if
R&B.
you will.
And the key word you said, R&B, is disappointment.
Yeah.
You know, because you're right. For him to have that much hype and for him to actually be as talented as he is to live up to that hype as far as his talent goes, and not achieve what he was supposed to achieve in like his 6 years in the league, I totally agree with that. I totally agree with what you're saying because I can't pinpoint one thing in his career where I'm like, damn, he's definitely on his way. Like there's nothing in his career that points to that, and it's sad because if he keeps going in the direction. Now I was gonna say.
No, I was just gonna say I don't think that they've really. I think it's 50-50 when I look at the Pelicans since he's been there. I ain't gonna say that they've done a world of favors to try to really, you know what I'm saying, solidify a team, but they have made moves to try to make that team better. And with him being that one of that key piece. And we've seen it in the past. They were number 2 in the West. And then he all of a sudden decided he didn't want to be in shape no more. They sitting him out. He hurt. He said he healthy. They just not playing him, whatever the case may be, like some Kaminga Golden State shit going on. They fall all the way to the play-in and out the playoffs. They went out and got CJ McCollum at a time. He had Brandon Ingram over there at a time.
That's what I was gonna say, bro. It ain't that they ain't never been talent around him. He ain't never been healthy enough for them to see if it could work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then they ended up having to move on from all those different players. But it's been some talent through there since he's been there.
It's taking too long.
Yeah,
it's taking too long.
It's a discipline thing, if you ask me. He's not disciplined enough. He's not
But the fact that you got all these women exposing you on social media, so we see what you really own. You know what I'm saying? We see what you really own. It's sad.
Homegirl had $600 in her account.
I'm gonna call it a night, fellas.
All right.
All right. Have a good night, guys.
All right, now.
Peace.
Yep. Homegirl had $600 in her account, and he hit her off with 2 G's, and she exposed him. Like, what kind of women are you dealing with, bro? Anyway.
Oh. Well, gentlemen, I'm about to tune in. I got to go back to work tomorrow. Another great episode. We'll be back next week with our sound bites. this one's gonna be entertaining.
I'm seeing some, but
no little we'll go in depth about the Super Bowl preview and some other lingering NFL topics. And I think it's time we start infiltrating some NBA in here. We're getting to that.
It's time. So I wanted to touch on that whole little shit with LeBron and the Lakers or whatever, but maybe if it ain't too still, we can talk about it next week.
Yeah, we'll have enough time next week, and I definitely want to hear what you got to say about that.
So yeah, we'll definitely start integrating that in here, and the week after that we can start our NBA list, starting with them centers. So you got 2 weeks, Raj, to mess this list up.
Nah, I'm telling you right now, number 1 is Jokic. I'm letting you know right now.
Yeah, he Mike, he not lying. He being dead serious. He's letting us know.
Listen,
number 1 is Joker.
That's fine, but it's the other 9. What order they are leading up to Joker? Like he can believe that. That's fine. I've accepted that terrible take. I've accepted that.
Whoa, it's not a terrible take.
Yeah, listen. Let's save that for 2 weeks.
All right, let's save that. We're gonna get
like when we do I'm a Detroit fan, but when we do our top 10 small forwards, I don't want to see no damn Tayshaun Prince and Bruce Bowen on that list.
We got 5 positions. We got best defenders. We can do. We got so much more leeway.
Bruce
best
Bowen
6
might be an honorable mention though.
I want to do a top 10 6-man of the year list. Like,
it's on.
Top 10 3-point shooters.
Man, it's all kind of stuff we could do, bro.
We ain't gonna get bored, and we ain't subject with the NFL. We got a lot.
Listen, we even got to touch on top 10 who could have been top 10.
Number 1, Zion. For me, I'm letting y'all. Just like he doing with Joker. I'm letting you know already. Number 1 for me, Zion. With a name like that and a body like that, pause.
I'm glad you said pause because wait a minute.
Number 1 for me. Number 1 for me, Nick Van Exel, but that nigga Ryan always be hating on him though. He broke his confidence down.
I gotta hear the story on this. Why you gotta get Nick Van Exel? Oh.
Wow.
Oh, don't do Nick the Quick like that.
He
I
used to
gotta
use
get-
Nick the Quick on NBA Live back in the day, though.
Oh,
But
see?
he
Nick
was
Van
he
Exel
was
was
my
I
point
knew it.
guard.
Nick
I
Van
knew
Exel was the best point guard on them Dallas teams that had Steve Nash on them. Quit hating on my boy, man.
Oh man.
No, I'm
got-
just like R&B. No, I'm just talking shit.
Yeah.
That's
man.
funny. That is
Well,
hilarious.
we gonna
He
get
was the
into
best point guard on those teams. I wasn't talking shit about that, but that's a whole other conversation.
Appreciate you guys for tuning in as always and tapping in. We're gonna be back next week with another episode. We'll have our top 10 list of the week. We'll talk about the Super Bowl. We're gonna infiltrate the NBA, and we're gonna do so much more. Everyone, be safe. Have a good week, and we'll see y'all.
Hey, Mike,
next week.
real quick. If somebody wanted to watch, you know what I mean, how would I send them a link to watch us?
I can send you the
Go to the YouTube, man.
link.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Like it, I can send you the YouTube link, and then you can send that
Okay.
to them. It comes up on Instagram and Facebook as well, but the YouTube link, I can send that to you, and then you can send it to whoever, and then they can watch it from there.
Okay, cool.
All right.
All right, fellas.
All right,
Yeah.
fellas.